that they will personally come to know you as their Savior. I thank you for your blessings, and I thank you for who you are. Amen.
Amen. Thank you. Commissioner Bowling, you want to go?
Please, sir. Thank you, Mr. President. The first item we got on the agenda on page 13 is economic development. We've got a member from our staff here, and we also have somebody that's involved, and I understand he's got to catch a plane a little later, so thank you for letting him go first. Jeff, we'll turn it over to you.
All right, thank you, Commissioner.
This is on Tech Birmingham.
All right, so this morning we're here to consider a funding request from Tech Birmingham. This is an investment that is intended to drive workforce access, job creation, small business growth, and innovation in Jefferson County. Tech Birmingham, if you're not familiar, their mission is to strengthen and advocate for the technology ecosystem within our region by helping them to effort to recruit and retain tech talent, foster entrepreneurship, and provide our workforce with opportunities for technical education and professional development. This funding request is intended to do two things. One, assist Tech Birmingham in supporting their organization's program services, which includes career and technical programs, supporting startup companies, and promoting Jefferson County's growing tech sector through initiatives such as Lost Tech, which this past year drew more than 1,400 attendees, with more than 25% of those attendees coming from outside the metro and 13% of them coming from outside the state. Secondly, and what I find more exciting about this proposal is Tech Birmingham is working on an initiative in cooperation with Auburn University to launch a mobility startup accelerator in the area. The automotive sector has been pretty strong in Jefferson County, specifically around the manufacturing of automobiles and heavy-duty trucks. Some of these areas we've kind of lagged in is the growth of entrepreneurship related to the automotive sector and research and development. This accelerator is intended to fill that gap and provide the opportunity to recruit growing companies in that sector to Jefferson County. We have several expected returns on this investment, one being 81 direct jobs tied to the accelerator, more than 400 students and young professionals engaged through their programming services, $5.4 million in economic impact to county, and an estimated $12.5 million in earned media through their programs. At this point, I want to turn it over to Dion Gordon, President and CEO of Tech Birmingham, to talk more about their initiatives, the accelerator, and to answer any questions you may have.
Thank you, Jeff. Thank you, everybody, for the time today. I'll try to, excuse me, I'll try to be brief, but more than happy to pull on any threads that might interest you all. Don't want to take for granted that everybody is familiar with Tech Birmingham. I think a lot of folks are surprised to learn that we are an organization that was actually founded in 2002. That's the Birmingham Area Technology Leadership Association. A number of prominent individuals were a part of that founding roster, if you will, and the work that we do, we really bucket into 5 primary areas. How do we market the region internally and externally, making sure that folks are familiar with what is going on down here on the coasts, on the DC hubs, etc. There's that advocacy piece, making sure that we are serving as a chief cheerleader for our technology ecosystem, growing the ecosystem. We bifurcate that in terms of K-12, but also adult learning education as well. Shining example of that work is Ed Farm. I assume some of you all are familiar with that, a project that we launched with Apple back in publicly 2020. February, Tim Cook came down, launched it with us. Wayman Jackson is now the CEO of that, growing like gangbusters. We were happy to incubate that project. And then there is the investment aspect, the accelerator, as Jeff mentioned. We'll pull on that a little bit more, and then connecting the community through events and initiatives, Lost Tech being the prime example of that. As Jeff mentioned, we brought over 1,400 people to the region over 3 days. We initiated a pitch competition this year as well that saw applications from every state in the Southeast, except for Arkansas. Don't know what's wrong with Arkansas. It gave us tremendous visibility. People are already asking us about it now. We've been given the green light to do it again for next year, and I can't share the details just yet, but it's safe to say we'll be doubling the amount that we give to our entrepreneurs, and the attention that's going to bring to our region obviously speaks for itself. One of the things that I'm excited about the accelerator is the fact that it answers a critical why for us, and that question really revolves around what is it that we're going to be doing for our ecosystem to make sure that we're not just surviving the changes that are taking place technologically, but that we're thriving them in as well. Go back a couple of decades rather, we had 4 top 50 banks that were headquartered across the street from one another here in downtown Birmingham. From 2004 to 2007, 2008, that number went down to 1. 6 Fortune 500 companies down to 1. Thankfully, we have 2 with Vulcan Materials. All that to say, we did not position ourselves to take advantage of the changes that were happening in the landscape, which is why we don't see our region represented in fintech and financial innovation. Here we are now at the center of mobility. So anything dealing with the movement of goods, supply chain, logistics, outside of Detroit and some other markets, is really in this state and in this region. Jeff mentioned the automotive sector, but also in food and beverage, whether you're looking at Red Diamond, World Cup, Milo's tea, et cetera, et cetera. We have a deep concentration and density, and we know that that sector is changing right before our very eyes, whether it's in drone delivery, electric vehicle technology, battery development, so on and so on. So now this gives us an opportunity to say, how do we get in front of these changes and take advantage of them so we're not playing catch up, but that we're actually leading on some of these initiatives. So that's really the impetus behind the accelerator. But again, happy to kind of pull on any thread that might interest you all or any questions that you all have. So I'll turn it over to you all for any questions or comments.
I move that.
I know about the program. I came to several meetings.
Thank you so much.
I second.
Second. All right. Got a motion and a second on the floor. All in favor, please signify by saying aye. Aye. All opposed. Thank you, Mr. Gordon. Best of luck. Do good for us out there.
Absolutely.
I know you will.
Thank
Thank
you
you.
for the support, everybody.
Thank you, Jeff.
Jeff, you mentioned something about Auburn in there where they just help find the coach.
Just ruin it.
They already, that takes his back.
Happy to speak to that.
Maybe just real quick, you want to talk about some of the partnerships with the accelerators?
Yeah, absolutely. So, in full transparency, we have to make sure that the I's are dotted, the T's are crossed as it relates to Auburn University. But every indication is that they're going to come on as a significant partner. They have one of the best supply chain and logistics operations in the nation. Excuse me, and they also have a great partnership with our friends down at McLeod Software from 280. Obviously, that's Shelby County, but there's going to be some synergy there. We had conversations about them activating that building downtown on 4th Avenue as well. They're trying to establish a presence here. What's really exciting is that I think the entire state is aligned around this. If you go back to that new economic development report that was just released by the state called Catalyst, the mobility sector is one of the 5 pillars that was mentioned in that. And they also treat supply chain and logistics as a through line. So again, Birmingham, Jefferson County, in our region, we're sitting right at the intersection of where the state is trying to go and where we see the nation trying to go as well. We've also had conversations about making sure that students at Auburn University have access and pipelines into this, whether that's on the workforce development aspect in terms of internships. But there's also students down there who have great ideas and they want to be able to commercialize that. So what does it look like for us to provide those pathways so they can take their idea, iterate, test, and then take that to market as well? Same thing, you got administrators, you have faculty down there who are doing research in this. What are those pipelines into this entrepreneurial ecosystem? So a lot of excitement around it. We just got to figure out, at this point, it's really like minutia, right? When do we launch it? Does it align with their academic calendar, things of that nature? Jeff mentioned some of the partners, McLeod Software, of course, all of the companies that I lifted up earlier. We're having conversations around what their support looks like. I mean, you even go to Fleetio, which is a startup here, but they are valued at $1.5 billion. All right, and so this is not necessarily pie in the sky. It's kind of taking advantage of what we already have, what we're already excelling at. You look at Shipt, we talk about it in terms of grocery delivery, that's really a logistics company, right? How do you move people and products from point A to point B? So we got a lot of wins already at our backs. We just got to make sure that we have the apparatus in place to take advantage of it. So, but having Auburn at the table is going to be a critical part of that.
And I came to the reception, so I seen the presentation that y'all did. That was great.
Thank you. Thank you.
It really was.
It's a team and community effort. At the end of the day, I think a lot of folks recognize that this is a unique moment in time for us to take advantage of all of the changes taking place. So I'm thrilled to see our corporate community, our public sector rally and respond in recognition of that opportunity.
It really was nice.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Thanks, everybody.
Thank you, gentlemen. Thank you. Next, Mr. President, we've got information technology.
Good morning, Commissioners. We have one item for your consideration. This is for our Carasoft Okta Identity Access Management Contract approval. It's for the first year is $163,303 for the next coming 3 years of maintenance and support.
I move it.
Second.
All right, we've got a motion and a second on the floor. All in favor, please signify by saying aye. Aye. All opposed? Thank you.
I move you Vestavia Hills.
Second.
And you fired and yeah,
And the appointment on the Rocky Ridge.
Ken Davis.
All right.
How you know Ken Davis?
How do I know him? I met him when I first came up here, and the Rocky Ridge Fire District's a pretty active district.
It is.
And they help other people, other districts around them. That's what I really like about them.
Good
And
guy.
everybody has told me he's a good guy,
Good guy.
and I have found that to be true.
Move both of those.
Second.
We got a motion and a second for both District 5 other business 1 and 2. All in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Thank you, Mr. President. That's all for District 5.
Commissioner Knight, you want there? We'll just go back. Finance. Ms. Dixon.
Good morning, Commissioners. We have 8 items under Finance. We have our unusual demand report, our purchasing exception report, our purchasing agenda report, our encumbrance report, and the procurement card statement for Jefferson Credit Union.
And some really dangerous.
Any questions on those items?
Do I have a motion?
He
I move.
boasted my.
Have a second. All in favor?
Thank you.
Thank you.
Under Budget Management Office, we have multiple staff development, individual staff development, and a few information items.
I
move the staff
If you ever did, then you know anybody.
Motion and a second. All in
This guy
favor?
early.
Aye. All right, we just voted you two out. Let me know. All right.
We were paying attention though, Commissioner.
Developmental services.
I'm sorry, what did you say?
We cut your budget. Who's going to do developmental service, Mr. Michael?
Good morning, Commissioners. This is a request, case number 250009 is a request to rezone from C1 with some pretty extensive and lengthy restrictive covenants to just basic C1. The site was rezoned early in the 1990s, and then another portion of it was rezoned in the early 2000s for a pest control business. So there were several restrictive covenants that were bestowed by the county commission related to mixing of chemicals, location of any outdoor speakers, things like that. Property's under negotiation for sale, and they're proposing to do a gas station and shopping plaza there. So it'll be retail. This is the corner of West Oxford Road and Happy Lane. Planning and Zoning Commission did recommend approval, as it does comply with the policies of the comprehensive plan for the area. But they did recommend approval with a condition that a right turn lane be installed for the development. Back in April, the Planning and Zoning Commission originally heard this case. It was at that point in time requested to be held over as there was some private restrictive covenants uncovered between this property and the neighboring church to the north, which is the large Homewood Church of Christ, which is on the corner of Lakeshore and Southmore. They worked out some agreements with that. And in fact, they've worked out some additional private restrictive covenants that are much more restrictive than what we would have. So, and they would be held to that by the church itself. So again, the Planning and Zoning Commission did recommend approval. By the time that the case came back up last month in October, there wasn't any opposition, and there were people there in support.
Move it. Aye. A motion. Second. All in favor, please say aye. Aye. Thank you. C 250023.
All right, yeah, this is a case that's down on Pocahontas Road, near where Lindsay Loop comes in right there, where, if you got all familiar with the area, this is where the old, the restaurant that was there for a long time, that corner. This is directly across the street, this is just above McCall Trace subdivision. The property owner was requesting to go to Iowa Light Industrial for a mini storage facility. Recently, in the comprehensive plan, we designated this area as a neighborhood center, which is geared towards providing neighborhood services, neighborhood activities, contemplating possible walkability, things like that, creating sort of a node for the entire community right there. And because of that, proposed use didn't really fit into that sort of category. And so because of that, the Planning and Zoning Commission did recommend denial in this particular request. Again, that's because it does not comply with the policies of the newly adopted comprehensive plan.
I move it to the agenda.
Second.
I have a motion to move it to the agenda. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Thank you. Z250025.
This is out in the rural area of the county. This is out on Mud Creek Road, out in Azure, or Oak Road. This is just a simple request for downzoning from I-3 and I-3S to A1 for marketing for commercial homes, residential.
I move it.
Second.
A motion and a second. All in favor? Aye. 250006.
This is just a request for a transfer of an off-premise beer and wine license. This is for a gas station that's out in the Hueytown area. It's right there close to where Hueytown investment will come together just on the other side of 29. This site has had a long history of off-premise beer and wine sales, and the applicant's records check out, so there's no flaw or anything with their.
Let's just change of ownership.
That's correct.
Do I have a motion?
Move that.
Second.
Have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. All right. Thank you, Mr. Mike. All right, Emergency Management Agency, Civic Plus, FY26. Mr. Coker, are you on? Okay. This is just an emergency. This is an agreement to provide a mass electronic notification system to provide notifications. I think this is the second gen of
Yes.
what we have now.
Yes. I have a question, Mr. Chairman.
You may.
Thank you, sir.
I don't know if I got an answer.
So let me ask this, Heather, and I know that probably it would be more for Jim to be able to answer. This system that we've utilized in the past, as I know, when we transition, it only allowed for an opt-in type of capability only. My question is, I wanted to see if we had explored any other avenues in order for us to be able to reach our constituents. And the reason being that I say is because from the framework plan to some other things that we've been able to get great participation from the community. It has come from us being able to provide the data that was required in order to reach the constituency. However, with this new system, it doesn't permit for that. And I just want to see if we're looking for explorations to be able to go back to that.
That would be a Jim question.
Okay. And so then.
What do you say? I think this is emergency use only. Is that what you're asking?
Well, no.
Can you use it other than for emergency?
No, in other words, the system itself, when it's used to its fullest, allows for you to be able to contact your constituents, period. Okay? Even though this is the verbiage that is used when we are doing what we do. So if that's a Jim question, then that's my answer. You can't, nobody has the answer. So, and that's okay.
I'm not sure what your question is. Can you use
No,
this?
she knows exactly. You know what I'm talking about, don't you?
Yeah.
In other words, the system, if you don't use it to reach
Interpret for me.
So the system is set up with information that is to be used for dissemination of emergency alerts. I think there have historically been some questions about whether or not that same subscription base can be used for notifications for other purposes.
Non-emergency.
Yes.
Yeah.
Which the county has plenty of non-emergency but good things the community needs to know about. Like our good frameworks plan that we just finished. And if the citizens don't have any notification about they have the ability to participate, then it really is a disservice to them, even though the county is providing a very good service.
Well, I understand that, but then it becomes an issue of, if you're getting all these notices, then you gotta disseminate as to what is an emergency and what is a notification that we're beautifying something or
Well, you
something.
remember a
like that.
couple of years back, Mr. Chairman, that the commission did a resolution as relates to how the use of that piece could work, but nevertheless, for the sake of brevity, we can go ahead and pass it because nobody has the answer that I'm looking for. But I would like to ask.
But I think I understand the question being, can it be used for something other than?
No,
real
I'm saying,
emergency?
in other words, in the past, it has been used for multiple purposes that had information-based intent, right? And so now with us being on this new system, it doesn't allow for that, meaning that it does, but you have to opt in only. So if folk don't know how to opt in for any reason, then if you want to try to reach Vestavia Hills or McCalla or Trustful and some of these other nice places, and the county could be having a meeting that requires their participation. In the past, we've been able to utilize that system to notify people of things that were very informative. So I was just trying to see if we had explored, more than where we are, because we're paying a good little piece for the software that we're using. I just wanted us to see if we're exploring it to its highest use.
Got a motion? Second. All in favor? Aye. Thank you. General Services, Miss Heather is going to give the General Services report.
Mr. Commissioner, we have 2 items on the agenda and one pending for new business. The first is a contract for the water booster pump system replacement. The second is ratification for some emergency repair work that we had to do to the suspended ceiling. And then the third item is a contract to do the design work to replace the generator at Fleet Shop.
All right, but that's new business,
Yes,
right?
sir.
Okay. Do I have a motion on 1 and 2?
Second.
Do I have a motion to consider new business?
So moved.
Second.
Have a motion and second, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Now, we have the new business, say that one again.
So that is a contract for design work for the generator for Fleet Central Shop.
That's right. It's one's gone kind of kaput.
Yeah, it's having some struggles.
Okay. All right, do I have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
I have a motion and second, all in favor? Aye. Thank you. All right, I get it for you?
Yep, thank you.
All right, let me flip over here one. Have community grant to public services grants.
Go on with all that.
Have a motion, second, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye, thank you. All right, that completes my report, Mr. President.
All right, thank you. Administrative and Infrastructure Committee have roads and trams. Have 4 items. ALDOT permit, an engineering services agreement, a pavement resolution, and a street maintenance acceptance.
Move on.
They've been moved and seconded. All in favor say aye. Aye. County Attorney, we have minutes from our commission meeting on October 23rd. We have an opioid settlement agreement.
I move 1 and 2.
Second.
All in favor say aye. Thank you very much. County Manager, we have a presentation on Northern Beltline and a resolution concerning the same. We have an MOU for cooperative agreement for candidate testing activities. I'll let you worry about that one. And then we have another one on change agents training to continuous improvement program. Any of those you want to elaborate on before we
Yeah,
move?
because I do.
I'll move 1 through 4. If we can get a second, then we can have discussion.
Second, and I have questions.
All right.
Go ahead, you can start. You had a question too?
No, I was asking, I was getting ready to start.
You want to expound?
Yeah. No, actually, I was going to get Michael Staley to come up and do his presentation on Beltline.
All right.
You okay with that?
Mhm.
All right.
Did they vote?
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Thank you very much. We did.
Good morning, I'm Michael Staley. I'm here, work for the Coalition for Regional Transportation. It's a group that was formed in 2010 out of the business community in Birmingham to support the Beltline. I'm here to say thank you to you, to the commission, for your leadership and your comprehensive planning, for planning for the route of the Northern Beltline, including that in your plan. There have been some similar resolutions that have passed last night, Gardendale and Silver Springs. Last week, Hueytown, Pleasant Grove is slated to come up next. We'll have Graysville and Adamsville. So we got a couple new mayors there, and it's always good to get out and just refresh our support the federal government through our congressional delegation. Because of people in this room, Commissioner Knight and Commissioner Stevens in particular, 2020 took a trip up to D.C. When the Beltline was dead, and we had no funding. And since then, we have secured $560 million in 100% federal funding that may only be spent on the Appalachian Development Highway System. So unfortunately, I know folks always say, well, we could spend that money somewhere else. We just can't. It either goes for the Appalachian Development Highway System or it goes to another state. So it's 100% federal money. ALDOT is moving as aggressively as they can to build from Gardendale to Pinson. The entire Beltline stretch is 52 miles. We provide maps. I know everybody's heard and talked about it, but no matter which part of the Northern Beltline you are considering in your mind when you think of it, there is a route, and it needs to be preserved. And it is good for all of the county and the surrounding counties and our region for reasons including public safety. To be able to go from an emergency room in 10 minutes instead of 30 is a big deal. Being able to get to work when you can is a big deal. There are parts of Jefferson County that don't have good access to the interstate. This will provide that. There are congestion issues with 18,000 trucks a day coming down I-22. The completed Beltline will get those trucks out of downtown Birmingham. So again, I don't want to take too much time on your agenda. But you're in a very, very important as leaders of the county. You're the county government. So I want to say thank you for your leadership on the Northern Beltline, and thank you for your cooperation in the planning and zoning, so that we will be sure that we can build that highway when more money comes. I have any questions anyone has, I'm more than happy to answer.
What's the timeline on finishing 75 to 79?
Well, that would be a good question to ask ALDOT, but I do understand that they are moving quickly towards the final approval of their environmental document, which is required to begin purchasing right-of-way. And I know that they are eager to purchase that right-of-way.
What they've already started, they should all have all that done.
Yes, sir. So the section, the 75 to 79 section, which maybe everybody saw back in 2014, where there was a groundbreaking and shovel scooping, and then they stopped because I told you there's no money. And that section, Commissioner Knight, will open to traffic sometime in 2026. I'm not ALDOT, that's what they've said. And if you haven't been out there to where they're building, and we had really sad news from that location this last week. I think most of you probably saw that. But if you haven't been out there, we had about, 75, 80 people out there with Senator Britt. It is a big concrete highway. If anybody went to the CBD, the Central Business District Bridge, when they open it, they're standing on this big deck. That's what we were doing at the Northern Beltline. So it's not just a fictional thing in the future. It's a real thing that's being built right now.
Any other questions? Thank you, Mike.
Thank you, sir.
All right. Next we have PI. We have nothing for that, so we did 3 other businesses.
I move items 1 through 4, but I'd like to add, Mr. President, to item 3. I'd like to add 2,500
Okay.
To that item, please.
I know that the folks out here really appreciate it. Thank you.
Yeah,
All right.
a few homes out there.
We have a motion.
Second.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Thank you very much. Commissioner Tyson.
Good morning, Commissioner. Community Development and Health Services Committee. I'll go all the way down to Dr. Hamilton, Department of Community Service.
Good morning, Commissioners. We have 9 items this morning. The first one is for Glenn Woods going to Delta for operations to 11,000 that allocated positions for that time budget. Number 2 is for Fulton Senior Center for its operations for 20,000. For the City of Brighton Senior Center for 20,000 for its operations. And 4 through 9 is lien releases where we've assisted with home buyer assistance as well as bonuses coming for this action.
Move 1 through 9.
Second.
And first and second, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
And I go to Family Court, James Fields.
Shaniqua Hunter is here today for the report.
That's your name. What did you say your name was? Your name?
Shaniqua Hunter.
Okay.
We have 2 items on today for the agenda. We have 2 grants that Family Court has been awarded from the Alabama Administrative Office of Court to work with our accountability court with our GATE program, which deals with our offenders dealing with gun charges. And we're looking to implement a Bessemer Juvenile Drug Court program in the Bessemer South area. So those grants will provide funds to assist with those programs.
These 2 revenue grants.
Yes.
All right. Move. Second.
Then first and second, all in favor, say aye. I have an acknowledgement report from the sheriff.
Sheriff, I move.
Second.
And it's been first and second, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
That's the end of my report.
All right. Public Works, Community Service, and Governmental Relations Committee. Good morning.
Good morning.
That's good.
Yes, sir. Under Environmental Services, we have a total of 3 items. Are there any questions as relates to these 3 items?
I move 1, 2, 3.
All right. Second? Do we have a second?
Please, second.
All right, it's been moved and properly seconded. All those in favor, let it be known by saying aye. We have 1 item under General Retirement System, which I think is very good for military service contributions. Are there any questions as it relates to this item?
I move it.
Second.
All right, it's been moved and properly seconded. All those in favor, let it be known by saying aye.
Aye.
We have 1 agreement for Deputy Director for General Services. Do we have any questions as it relates to this item?
Move it.
Second.
Okay, it's been moved and properly seconded. All those in favor, let it be known by saying aye.
Aye.
That ends my report. Thank you.
Right. County Attorney, anything?
All is well.
All is well. County Manager.
I just wanted to thank the folks down at Revenue. Got the name of the citizen, went to do their business license, and they emailed a bunch of people just thanking for their kindness and expert helping them get all their work done. It's good to hear when employees go the extra mile to be good service. Very, very thankful for them.
It's been a while, but the culture's changed. Thank you very much.
Good people.
Any commissioners?
Yeah, we had the same thing. We reported one of those big covers for storm drain. We reported it, man, got it done within a day or 2, and the citizen emailed back saying, "Hey, really appreciate y'all jumping on that." That was a hazard for kids.
Anything else?
No, sir. Thank
you. Adjourn.